What's up, awesome people of the internet? I hope you all had an awesome 4th of July. As fireworks were going off yesterday all around the United States, there were some women's basketball fireworks going off as well. We have Team USA losing to Brazil in AmeriCup. If you're interested in watching a general recap on my thoughts about that game, you can just click right up here and watch that. And we also have another firework that happened yesterday. We have our first trade of the WNBA season. The Indiana Fever have traded Queen Egbo to the Washington Mystics for Amanda Zahui B. And so my initial reaction to this news was, wow, that's really kind of the Fever. And then my second thought was, well, I think this is a great win-win-win for everybody. Onto that first thought, I thought that the Fever did a really solid, good deed for Queen Egbo. As you remember, the Fever drafted Queen Egbo in 2022 as the 10th overall pick. And she really had a solid season for the Fever. She started 31 out of 33 games last season. She made the all-rookie team, had more than 40 blocks last season, and she also averaged a good amount of points. She averaged 7.2 points and 6.3 rebounds a game. So again, pretty solid numbers. She also showed herself to be a very good post defender. And as I said, just a solid season. And so I felt that the Fever would have Queen Egbo in their long-term sights as a starting center. That is until Betty Hittar decides if she's going to come to play for the Indiana Fever or not. If Betty Hittar was going to come back, then I would see Queen Egbo being a backup to her. But in the meantime, I was imagining that Queen Egbo would be the starting center for this team. And that all changed this WNBA draft when the Fever drafted Aaliyah Boston as the number 1 pick. Now, instead of Queen Egbo being the de facto starter for this team and being in a role that she can continue to develop and get better, Queen Egbo has been relegated to sitting on the bench. For the sake of Queen's growing as a player and really growing in her career, I think it was best for the Fever to move her to a team that could actually use her and actually use her with significant minutes, not just 9 minutes coming off the bench. And so I thought that the Indiana Fever did a good thing to Queen Egbo by sending her to the right place in my mind, which is the Washington Mystics. And that's because the Washington Mystics is a hurt team. You have both Elena Delle Donne and Shakira Austin who are hurt, and Queen Egbo is going to fit in quickly and get a lot of minutes right away. She may even be a short-term starter for a little while for this team. And that's primarily because she is a solid defender with decent post moves at the basket, with the caveat at the basket, decent post moves at the basket. I think that Queen Egbo is going to fit in with the Washington Mystics, and I think they're going to use her quite a bit because, as I said, she's a good defender, solid in terms of scoring, though I think what they really need her for is her body. They need her to clog up the paint, and they need her to block shots and to really be a visible and physical threat on the defensive end. I think that really is the benefit that Queen Egbo gives to the Washington Mystics. And because of that, I think they play her quite a bit, and I think this really does help her future career, just because she's going to get a chance to grow. She's going to get a chance to be around some very quality vets, and just will be able to hopefully blossom from here. So now on to the second part of this trade, which is Amanda Zahui B. So I think that the Mystics primarily traded Amanda Zahui B because of her defensive presence. Amanda Zahui B is many things, but I don't think anybody would call her a great defender, or even a good defender in the league. She's okay, but she gets exposed on defense. And if you know anything about the Washington Mystics, you know that, they're very serious about their defense. And Amanda Zahui B can score. She has proven in the past that she can score. She does have range. She can shoot it from three. She can shoot mid ranges. Though this season she's been off on her shot. Remember, she didn't play in the league last season, and so maybe that's why she's a little bit off. But her shot hasn't been falling, though she can hit threes and mid-range shots. The Mystics really just need a better defensive presence down low, and I think that's the primary reason why they moved away from Amanda Zahui B. And so to wrap things up for this video, I feel that both teams really got what they needed. The Fever got a big that can stretch the floor when she comes off the bench in Amanda Zahui B. And the Mystics got a more traditional big with solid defense. So a win-win for everybody. Queen Egbo gets an opportunity for more minutes, at least temporarily, while Shakira Austin is out. And Amanda Zahui B is still on a roster. She has an opportunity to continue to compete for a roster spot into next season. So, she will be Aaliyah's backup, and she has a great opportunity to find a niche with the Indiana Fever. Because if Amanda Zahui B can come in the game while Aaliyah Boston is out and stretch the floor, I think that's a huge win where players aren't just clogging up the paint on defense, where Amanda Zahui B can shoot a three. She can shoot a decent mid-range shot. And so her defender isn't just going to be, sagging in the paint when Amanda Zahui B has the ball on the three-point line. They have to move out to guard her, which means you're opening up the lane for Kelsey Mitchell to drive, or like something good to happen for the guards. And so I think this is a huge benefit for the Indiana Fever, because you don't have a like for like coming in, right? So Aaliyah Boston is more of a traditional big of sorts. And so the defenders, they're really going to pack the paint for Aaliyah Boston. When Aaliyah Boston goes out, before, Queen Egbo is a very similar player. And so, again, the defender is staying in the paint. Now, when Aaliyah Boston goes out of the game, that defender is not staying in the paint. That defender has to move out with Amanda Zahui B, which just opens up the lane. And so I think this really, really benefits the Indiana Fever, and also gives Amanda Zahui B an opportunity to, if her shot can start dropping, I could totally see a situation where Indiana keeps her, for 2 or 3 plus years, if her shot can fall, and she can be a consistent, player to give you, 7 points a game, coming off the bench for Aaliyah Boston. I think if Amanda Zahui B can do that and play decent enough defense, we all know that Amanda Zahui B is not the best defender, but if she can just be solid on the defensive end, I think she really would find a landing spot for in the Indiana Fever going forward. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Another random note for Amanda Zahui B: with this trade, she is now the first player in WNBA history to be traded 3 times in 1 calendar year, which is just wild. For a refresher, she started the offseason with LA, having exclusive negotiating rights with them. She was then sent to Las Vegas for De'Erica Hamby. She was a part of that trade. And then she was sent from Vegas to the Washington Mystics in exchange for multiple second-round picks. And now she is sent to Indiana in exchange for Queen Egbo. So lots of transition for Amanda Zahui B. She is also the 8th player in WNBA history to be traded 4 times in their career. No one has been traded 5 times. So trading is not, it doesn't happen all the time in the WNBA, which is why, this trade is the first trade of the season, or at least the first trade that I can remember. But yeah, that is the video, guys. Let me know what you all think. Do you all think that this is a good trade for both teams, or do you think this is trash? Let me know your comments in the description, in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, guys. Bye.